What are the benefits for consumers in the latest updates to the Hainan Island departure duty-free policy? Why do overseas universities choose to set up campuses in the Hainan Free Trade Port? This episode of Experts Talks on the Hainan Free Trade Port features an interview with American Dr. Joseph Gregory Mahoney. Hello, Dr. Mahoney. Hi, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So, what's your plan for your visit in Hainan?
I've been coming to Hainan since January of 1999.
Wow.
And so we came here to the winter summer of Hainan. Through all the years that came after, I had many opportunities to come back. So it's always been a pleasure to come back to Hainan. It's always been a pleasure to see how Hainan has been maturing and growing and becoming one of China's provinces with the greatest prospects for growth. Hainan is now in a very unique position in terms of being able to move forward this free trade zone. This is really, I think, a milestone moment.
Welcome to Experts Talk on the Hainan Free Trade Port, and we're so glad to have Dr. Mahoney here today. Hi, Dr. Mahoney, welcome to Hainan.
Thanks for having me.
During all the past years, what changes have impressed you the most?
I've been coming to Hainan regularly for the past 26 years, generally to Sanya and then up into the interior part, into Wuzhishan Mountain, where I did some research in one of the Li minority villages for many years. Have followed that village through time, and then more recently I have been working with a peace and development think tank based in Sanya, and I'm really excited to see these opportunities being brought to Hainan, and I think it's a threshold moment for not only people of the island, but for the entire country and certainly the region.
In terms of the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port, which aspects are most focused on?
I have founded the Center for Ecological Civilization. And here, what we're really interested in doing is seeing how we can promote ecological civilization, not only domestically, but internationally. It's clear that Hainan is going to be in the vanguard position of developing the blue economy for China, and that China itself is already in the vanguard position globally.
Hainan will officially launch its island-wide special customs operation on December 18th. How do you think this will support China's further opening up and contribute to economic globalization?
We reached a point where we need to open up to drive our reforms. And I think in many respects, Hainan is the best example of this need, but also best positioned for this type of policy innovation to be a policy laboratory for the rest of the country. I think it sends a powerful signal to the rest of China that these sorts of policies will be incubated here. So Hainan will now be in the vanguard position of that development and sends that signal not only to other companies, but to other countries that this is the place to be.
So after the special customs operations, the related policies will be refined and adjusted. So from the perspective of a global investor, what kind of new opportunities do you foresee?
When many people think about a free trade port, one of the things that they immediately think about is low to no tariffs, or a shorter negatives list. And those things will definitely be in place here. But there's actually a rich policy mix that goes far beyond that, that seeks all sorts of other synergies that I think would that really beg close study by entrepreneurs who are looking for new opportunities. I'm regularly consulted by foreign diplomats. I said, you really ought to be looking at Hainan. Hainan is a big part of the future, not just for Southeast Asia, but for all of Asia. There's a push-pull effect.
Allowing high-level overseas universities and botanical colleges in science, engineering, agriculture, and medicine to independently operate in Hainan is a unique policy. What do you think overseas universities value most about Hainan, and what is your outlook on building an international education innovation island?
If I'm a European student and I want to do a year or a semester abroad, I'd want to come to Hainan. I'd want to get out of, and I would choose maybe the the winter term to come here and to not only do some high-level work, but also enjoy the region. I do think that it may be the case that some of the institutions that have already built campuses or programs in other parts of China will be thinking about maybe we should have an office or a satellite program in Hainan, but also other foreign institutions that maybe missed that opportunity years ago to come into China will be thinking, okay, now's the time to come, and Hainan's the place to go.
Hainan has introduced several measures like visa-free entry for citizens of 86 countries and Hainan SafePay app. How effective do you find these policies?
There's been sort of a massive reform. As someone who's lived in China for a long time, who's been coming to China for a long time, I think we've seen the visa policies through time become much more rationalized, much more open, much more progressive, much more confident. I think this is facilitated with new models of security, digital governance and other things that actually facilitate this. But if we see these policies, these sort of open door visa-free policies really working well in Hainan, remember that the key point is for us to learn from Hainan, and then we'll be able to advance these policies in other places. I think in terms of the visa-free policies, although a lot can already visit China on a visa-free policy, the list is much longer for people who can come to Hainan. And so again, it's an incredible opportunity for people not only to come here for business, but to come here for pleasure and to enjoy the sea, the mountains, the fruit, and as well as consider the investment opportunities and the growth, the economic growth opportunities that they might be inclined to pursue. But I think in the future, it's going to be, okay, we need to learn from Hainan. Again, I'm optimistic that we'll continue to see this overall trend in the liberalization of visa policies in ways that really help drive China's growth, but also cultural exchange and China's commitment to a shared future for humanity.
How did you find your experiences with transportation, payment system, dining, and other daily conveniences in Hainan?
I think they're quite comparable to what we would have in Shanghai, which is frankly better than anything you'll get anywhere else in the world. To be honest with you, last night I needed something from a convenience shop, and I was a little tired, so I ordered it, and it arrived in 30 minutes or less.
The recently concluded fourth plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee once again emphasized expanding high-level opening up and creating new opportunities for mutually beneficial cooperation as a major initiative of high-level opening up of China. What are your expectations for Hainan after the special customs operations is implemented?
You sometimes hear people say that it's not far-fetched to imagine Hainan becoming the next Dubai. Hainan will never be the next Dubai. Hainan is unique because it will be the world's largest free trade port. It creates unique, unparalleled opportunities for investment, for growth and development, as well as what we can rightly assume will be further liberalizing policies. So companies that come in now and build a strong position here, it will position them well for the growing opportunities that are inevitably coming. I imagine, I would like to see, I know that there's some hope that we might see an APEC meeting hosted here in the future. I would go further than this. I would say, is possible that in the near term, or maybe the next 5 to 10 years, that we may see one of the major international organizations putting a regional headquarters or a headquarters here. As a free trade port, as a place that already hosts the Boao Forum, if we see APEC or a similar meeting come here and it's a success, I would expect in 10 years from now that Hainan will be much further down the road than many of us are even imagining right now.